On this show, we're talking American muscle with the new Ford Mustang and Dodge Challenger. We'll also discuss the Acura TLX next on Talking Cars. Hi there, and welcome to Talking Cars with Consumer Reports. I'm Tom Mutchler.
I'm Gabe Shanhar.
And I'm Jake Fisher.
One of our biggest fans asked me, he had a request on Twitter, so I think we can do this for him. I would like an episode solely dedicated to the Mitsubishi Mirage. Bring Shinhar.
Oh.
So that's
wonderful.
That's not.
Here's the answer.
That's right. No, we're not going to do that. Instead, we want to talk muscle cars today. What do we got, Gabe?
Well, we got really interesting stuff here. We have the new Mustang, fresh redesign for 2015, and we have another icon, which is the Dodge Challenger.
Yeah, you know, the Challenger, they've been making this car since '09, and they keep evolving the car.
It keeps getting better.
It does.
So I made a lot of internet friends when we initially tested the vehicle.
It was like how to win friends and influence
people.
It was. You really...
So when they first came out with this vehicle, I mean, it kind of drove like a truck. It really did. It had a lot of power, but the handling was not there. It was not impressive, and I think I basically said it was kind of like a Dodge Ram. You know, it's got a big V8, rear-wheel drive, doesn't really handle, but it's fast in a straight line and rides well, which it was true, which actually, it's kind of a fun car. I mean, if you want to cruise around, but it certainly was never a sports car. And yeah, so, you know, there was, you know, the Mopar forums were a little unhappy with me. But the point is that the car it still is a cruiser. I mean, it is not the car you necessarily want to go take in an autocross. This is not the tight, nimble little sports car.
I'm not going to chase a Porsche Boxster through Tail the Dragon with this.
No, but you might actually enjoy driving this thing day to day more than those vehicles all, because it was actually a fun car. And even the one that, you know, I poked fun of was a great car to go cruise around in and was really enjoyable. Now this car, I mean, they've dialed it up. So sure, it's fast, sure, it's still quiet and it's still comfortable, but it drives a whole lot better. The steering is a whole lot better. I mean, it's come a long way. And the interior has gotten much better too. I mean, it was kind of, you're not cutting yourself on Flash anymore.
No, that era of Chrysler cars.
Yes.
But here's the rub. In '09, it was a nice cruiser. It looked good. It had this kind of retro feel about it.
And it's not retro anymore.
But
no, it's
they got
totally
rid of
modern now. Yeah.
no, but wait, let me finish that thought. I mean, now they wanted to evolve the car, and you said it. And I think by evolving the car, trying to make it more sporty, the car now falls between the cracks because it rides more stiffly.
Cracks.
And I mean, it's never going to be a sports car. So you actually compromised the strength of the car, which was like, you know, it was a really nice kind of cruiser, fast cruiser. That's what it was about. Now it's not.
You think?
I think it's not as quiet. I think it rides stiffer. The shifter and the clutch are heavy. It's just not enjoyable to drive anymore.
Gosh, man, I'm just not there. You know, this is not my type of car. I mean, let's just, if that's not obvious. I mean,
it's either, I don't know if it's the car or the times, because when you look at it in the context of this Mustang, the Mustang has so much wider repertoire as a car.
I don't think
because I mean, the Mustang is you can't just call it a muscle car anymore. It's more of a real sports car now.
But there's the thing. I don't think the same guy is going to shop these two cars. I think it's so tempting. Well, we did it. It's so tempting to talk about them together.
Yeah, I mean, you
but
talk
I think
about
it's
all
a completely different market segment.
Well, it's a whole trio of muscle car. I mean, it's this, the Camaro, the Mustang, and the Challenger.
I think I could put this in perspective and kind of resolve this. And basically, what I'd like to say is I disagree with both of you, and you're both completely wrong. And here's why. Because
I agree that we're wrong. Wait.
Well, hear me out. So, first of all, with the Challenger, no, sure, it's a little bit stiffer, and just a little bit, but you know what, it's still an easy car. I took it with a weekend, I had my kids in the back. It was an easy car to drive every day, and we're, you know, I mean, think about, you know, in the lot, we've had the 911 and the Corvette, and these cars are like great if you want to go to the Nürburgring or a track, but I mean, these cars do great on you. This car does not.
They're also great if you're a skinny German. You know,
This-
you weigh 150
this fits-
pounds, and
No, it's great with the McDonald's drive-through. But I think what Gabe, to your point, I think we're getting a little bit jaded by this wonderful vehicle over here in the corner, which is this Mustang. Which
Either
is,
that or maybe I got old, you know.
I'm going to go with that. But
that's
no,
yes.
And my kids don't fit in the back like your kids.
Oh, my kids are yeah, they're fun
kids are
sons.
more compact.
But I mean, the thing about the Mustang is it's come the other way. So, I mean, the Mustang was a real sports car. I mean, the Mustang, you know, despite its dimensions, is a car that you could put it on across. This was a sports car. But what they did was they went and did what the Challenger did too. This is a car that is quiet, it's refined, it got all those other stuff too without giving up that sporty nature. So now it almost makes the Challenger a little bit redundant because, you know, I'm not so sure. I'm not sure if it's right to say that they're not going to be cross-shopping because I think that Mustang can be your everyday driving car.
Completely.
Oh yeah. No.
I mean,
Which it used to be, you know, where a 911 and a Boxster or Cayman
But
really
I think,
can't
I
be.
think there's different goals here. I mean, I drive the Mustang, and this is a great compliment to it. I think of it as a budget BMW 4 Series coupe.
Yeah,
I think it's
you're
that
totally
good.
right here.
I think it's that good. But the Challenger, I'm not going to deny that the guy buying that thing, he is basically putting on a costume. He is saying, and in a good way, you know, why make boring car choices?
So
I want to have a retro car, and it sounds good, it looks good. I mean, my God, you pull up in that sublime green Challenger?
I just
I mean,
wanna
it's a
say-
total costume. You're totally right. I mean,
To-
but to
to-
say
to
that
mo-
they're
to
not
mo-
going to be cross-shopped with two icons of Americana, I mean, they are going to be
No, I think the
cross-shopped.
guy who buys
And
it is going to buy that car because he likes the way he looks. He likes classic
Right.
Mopar. I think that's a narrower shopping band than that Mustang.
Let's go back to what you just said about mentioning the BMW, and that ties into what I just said before with the wider repertoire of the Mustang nowadays. I mean, it can be a totally civilized car for everyday driving. I mean, I drive that car. The shifter, the clutch, the handling, I mean,
Yeah.
it's so good. I mean, here I drive the Challenger, I put it in second gear, I throw it in sixth, and I'm done with it. Here, you just shift for the joy of shifting with the
Yeah.
Mustang.
Well, no,
and
you wanna
to
have-
compare
you wanna
it,
have
you can
fun.
totally...
You want to dance with the Mustang.
It's no, exactly.
You want to dance
It's
with the
no
Mustang.
longer
The Challenger,
just...
you go straight.
Right. It's no longer just a muscle car. It's no longer just fast in a straight line. The Mustang can be compared to a 2 Series BMW or 4 Series BMW now. It's a much more well-rounded kind of a car.
So first-
other than the room in the back,
Yeah, no,
it's a totally more
You're
livable
exactly
car.
right, and I mean the Mustang. It's the supermodel that also really cooks well. You know, so I mean you're not going to be giving up what you get in that Challenger if you get that Mustang. You're going to get that everyday livability and quietness and all that stuff. And I will take, you know, disagree with you about the 4 Series because I would take the Mustang over the 4 Series right now. I mean they've gotten soft, and
Yeah,
the
I would too.
Mustang,
I think that steers better.
it does.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Now, earlier when in the last episode, someone asked us to review if we had a Scat Pack, which sadly we don't. We don't. Scat Pack is 6.4 liter, 485 horsepower. Sadly, we only have the 375 horsepower. Track Pack.
I don't know if
Why
sadly...
why did you cheat us, Gabe, picking this?
Because being customer service
They all want
centric,
Hellcats. They all want Hellcats.
That's right.
yeah,
And
they all dream of Hellcats.
Are we allowed to swear in the podcast? Because
Heck
we
cats.
just said Hellcat. I just want to
Heckcat.
throw that out
It's
there.
Heckcat.
We could bleep that in post. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so all of pretty much the vast majority of Challengers are V6 automatics.
Yeah, but they whipped
out
up
of
the
V8s,
froth with the Hellcat.
out of V8s, it's the RT Plus, which is exactly like this one.
I'm going to totally
So-
disagree with you again because I've been
okay.
reading
I-
Motor Trend and Road and Track and all of the buff books. I think 90% of them are Hellcats, actually.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think they make any
Totally.
V6s because I have never seen one reviewed.
Right, or Scat Pack, or the Scat Pack, which I've seen in Buff magazines as well. But anyway, real people out there
Okay. Now,
buy
There's
these
real
all day
people
long.
buy cars.
So RT
Gotcha.
Plus, $41,000,
yeah, this
$42,000.
is what people drive, and it's, yeah, you're not going to notice the extra
Right.
24 horsepower or whatever it is.
Let's talk more about what people drive. Another question that we didn't quite cover in the last show. You guys didn't really answer E79 Eternal's question. Could you please speak more about what kind of mechanical problems the GT86 twins are suffering from? First, we got to decipher.
yeah.
We got to decipher GT86. That's the Scion FRS and the Subaru BRZ. What's up with them?
they don't stay together. They have reliability issues. So took a look at some of the issues, and there's a bunch of issues going on with that. There's the tail lights are filling with water. The power windows aren't working necessarily. Don't going back up. Fuel pumps. They had a big problem with fuel pumps where they would make a squeaking noise and then eventually fail. The list goes on. The interior mirrors that were falling off, the exterior mirrors falling off. The engine runs rough, and actually we had that with our car too.
Yeah.
And there was an update on that. So it's been a whole bunch of different issues. And the radio is a kind of a mess, but the radio's had some issues too with the GPS isn't picking up and such. So a bunch of different issues. With Subaru and Toyota, I mean, they do understand quality. Hopefully, they're going to work out these issues. There are, on our site now, we do list the service bulletins and extended warranties, and you can read about those on our site. And they know about these issues. Yep. They have created some updates. Hopefully, they're going to fix those problems.
Yep, the car does have issues. Next question from Mr. Nugget Face. I can't take Tom seriously as a reviewer. He is forever negative about nearly every vehicle. Again, all that matters in life is
finally we agree.
So, Mr. Nugget Face. So I just sorry.
I'm so sad. I'm just gonna. Oh no. No, I mean, look, it's. No, there's more to a car than dashboard plastics. Actually, here's what I'm gonna say. I can't take Mr. McNugget Face seriously as a YouTube troll. He is only focusing on what I feel about dashboard plastics. There's a lot more to. These cars both have nice plastics, which that's important. From Apples, so soft. Apples. Can you tell us your opinion on the TLX and not compare it to an Accord? Which we will anyway. Compare it to the IS and Q50 and 3 Series, please. Thanks. Gabe.
Well, that's a very timely question because I just drove in this morning with the TLX V6.
Yeah.
Did you take a pair of tweezers to figure out which gear you're in? Because if you push it and you rotate it, you could get into drive.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. I backed out of my driveway, so you
now
do this motion.
This is the V6 with the 9-speed automatic.
Right, 9-speed automatic and a shifter that is a non-shifter, just a bunch of buttons.
It reminds me of those childhood games, when you're like 1.5 and you'd have the square goes in the square.
That's how you get
reversed.
Circle
goes in the That's right. You take the circle, you put the circle in the circle.
And you throw in the e-brake in the middle there.
That's right.
And so from reverse, I just hit the e-brake instead of drive.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, so that shifter is a deal breaker for that car.
Well, the transmission is no great shakes either.
That
9-speed.
too.
No one can, it doesn't seem like anyone can make a good 9-speed yet.
Right, and the start-stop is the slowest start-stop.
Oh,
I mean, I'm like, you're looking for a hole in traffic to jump in, and I'm already like full throttle, but the engine hasn't turned on yet.
No, and then when it turns on, it smacks you. It's such a, I get smacked in the back of the head with the head.
So I think you asked me the other day, would you buy the V6 TLX over the 4-cylinder?
I did.
I wouldn't do it. I'd stay with a 4-cylinder.
Let's back up and talk about the car as a bigger whole, rather than the V6 versus 4-cylinder question. What do you think about?
So compared to the Accord,
well, let's compare it to the Q50 and the IS.
that's a loaded question because compared to most
once.
Vehicles, compared to an IS or a Q50, they're pretty nice.
We're
Mazda 3 is pretty nice compared to a IS or Q50. So it's like if you're going to choose one of these vehicles
big fans
that
of
are
IS
not
and
good,
Q50. Yeah.
like the IS 250 all-wheel drive, the mainstream model, or the Q50, you know what? Go enjoy a TLX.
Well, let's be crazy and actually compare it to a car that's good. What about a 3 Series? What about a Mercedes C-Class?
Oh, it's a whole different ballgame. I mean, the 3 Series and C-Class they're more expensive cars.
They're 10 grand more.
But you actually get what you pay for here.
Yeah, this car becomes, it's all about context, and it becomes extremely difficult to explain, so I will try somehow to do it in the time we have left. The 4-cylinder is about $36,000. 36 grand will buy me a Ford Fusion, which is
a very nice Ford Fusion.
Which is a better driving car.
Or a Buick Regal.
Better riding car, a quieter car. If I need the prestige name, it's 10 grand less than the 3 Series and the C-Class. It doesn't drive as well. The interior isn't as nice. I don't know if Acura reliability's, they've been kind of mixed right now.
Been.
So you can't just say, go buy the Acura instead of the German cars because it will be better.
Why don't you buy a 320i? So you're a little down on power in the 3 Series, but you're a comparable price.
Yeah, also, with the money BMW and Mercedes throw into leases, that wrinkles, that makes it even more.
Sure. And if you lease it, then you're not so worried about paying out of warranty repairs.
Right, but my biggest, the biggest thought I have is I drive it and I'm bored. It just feels ordinary. And I think when you're buying a luxury car, it shouldn't feel ordinary. And that's kind of a drag.
It's a very
good
mundane kind of drive.
It's an okay car,
Yeah.
Sure.
and Acura's had a run of not so great cars, but
Yeah.
Next question. My aunt wants to buy a car and I need help. She misses her Mercedes ML's SUV height, and she now wants a small luxury SUV. She was looking at a GLA because the GLK is too boxy and ugly. I'm trying to convince her to wait a year or two till they design the GLK. She was also looking at a Discovery Sport and a BMW X3. What would you suggest? What else is there in the small SUV?
I don't know if I'm the right person to ask because I have an X3 at home. So,
But
yeah.
she doesn't like the run flats. I
understand that.
Run flats.
Well, in that case, how about an Audi Q5?
I was actually thinking of a Q3.
Yeah, Q3 is just out, so, but I think the Q5 is more established in terms of reliability record. I think it's more of a no-brainer. Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Totally agree. Totally agree. Q5 or X3 would be the way to go, and Audi's doing really well in terms of reliability these days. So Q5, I think, should be very happy.
That's true. I think a Q5 is actually by now a pretty safe choice.
Yep.
Quite a reliable choice. A programming note. For the last couple months, we've been doing Talking Cars on a weekly basis. It's been fun. We've learned it's a lot of work to do Talking Cars on a weekly basis. So we're going to cut back to once every 2 weeks. Hopefully at some point we'll be able to go back to weekly. In the meantime, if you need to get your fix, go to consumerreports.org/talkingcars. There you can participate in the forum with other fans and you can see back episodes. As always, it's a pleasure. We'll see you next time.